It's October 30th. Came back out here to the east side of the farm 2 days ago. The farmer finished cutting the corn here in this field, and he actually ended up seeing split brow bedded with a doe on the fence line back down there. So I'm kind of hoping if he's still with that doe that he might be in this wood lot, just because there's not as many deer that usually use this one. So he might want to bring her over here where he's not going to get bothered as much. But like I said, there's not that many deer that usually come through that are in this wood lot. They usually just pass through it. And last night we saw some deer covering some serious ground, so there's a good chance that maybe we could catch one, cruising out, moving around, and come through this wood lot and check to see if there's any does coming in or not. But it's October 30th. Who knows what's gonna happen? And it's cold temps right now, so hopefully maybe we can maybe get on one here pretty soon. We're off for the next 11 days or something like that, so we're gonna be hitting it hard, and hopefully maybe we can catch up with them. Well, we got split brow out in the field. You come out bumping some does, and there's about $3 bumping these does around. I was looking at him like, man, it looks like an 8, and I was like, that's a really good deer. It'd be hard to let that one go. And you come out in the field a little bit better, where I could get a little bit better look at him, and silhouette and the beans, and sure enough, it's split brow out there. Man, it's good to see him. But we need him about 300 yards closer. Who knows what could happen, though. They could bump them does around and end up down here, no problem. Keep an eye on him. And if he stays over in this fingerwood lot, we'll be right back here tonight. Or even try to sit here as long as we can, but at least we're able to lay eyes on him. Alright, just getting all set up here for our first sit in Indiana. Apparently there's a road right there. So Braden's got us out in this, out in the middle of the field on a tree line. We'll whip that off to our, I guess that'd be west, and then we got big CRP off to our east right here. So a lot of times these bucks are cruising this ditch bank, going back and forth between the two. We saw a pretty good buck here this morning, supposedly. So a little warm, a little breezy, but expected to wind, but warm temps. Hopefully these deer will still get up and move around on their feet, but it's the rut. We're in Indiana, so hopefully maybe we can put a few deer down. There's a few of us in camp this week, so we're gonna give her a howl and see if we can't get one on the ground. got about 15 minutes left here, so unless something happens quick, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for our Indiana trip. I mean, can't complain one bit. We were on that buck every day, just couldn't get him to come in range, and then today he came trotting by like 60 yards. But he's very hard to kill when they're running around. Did have a pretty good 8 come by here right a little bit ago, so I can't complain about our trip. We were on them every day. We saw them every day. Just couldn't get them in range. And Braden and Chris did their job. Camp K Outfitters. We'll be back. This is my first morning in Missouri. It's about 10 o'clock. We've been sitting since about 5:30, and we haven't seen any deer. It's been super windy, and we kind of got a midday switch plan, so I'm going to head back to the Ranger and eat some breakfast and grab one of my hang-ons. I'm going to head to the north side of my property and hang that stand, try to get set up before noon. And my plan is to sit that the rest of the day. So we're sitting all day, but we're basically just moving stands. So hopefully this wind dies down a little bit and these deer start moving. Alright, we're back in a tree. We're just getting set up for the night sit. It is 11 o'clock. We got down from the other stand, went back to the Ranger, and got a bite to eat. Chugged a coffee, a cold coffee, and ate some Little Debbie's. But we came out here, and this is a stand that I hunted last year, and I seen a lot of good bucks out of. The problem was it was just out of range. Seems like everything that I was trying to shoot was a little bit too far away, but I had that big buck that he's been daylighting the 26th, the 28th, and then he was even in here 2 days ago, but it was at 3 in the morning, which leads me to believe he's in the area, and he's definitely frequenting these food plots in this bean field, so should be pretty good.
we've been bouncing around, and we saw a pretty good buck this morning. We were hunting with our buddy Chris, and he's probably a 120-inch buck. And it's not the type of behavior you normally see this time of year. Buck just come in, eating acorns all nonchalant, and then bedded down for about 3 hours. So I think the deer are just rutting at night when it's cooling down, and then all day they're just bedding, hanging out, staying close to water. It's November 8th. We got 100-mile-an-hour winds and tornadoes. Deer running. It's like 75 degrees. I don't know if this is global warming or Biden just got elected, but either way, it's not looking good for us. It's been a rough few days, and this wind's not helping. Temperature's not helping. But we just snuck back in the timber, hung this new stand, and not really feeling optimistic about tonight with this wind. But I set it up so I can slip in tomorrow morning and hopefully hunt this all day. It's been a rough week of hunting. This is day 8. I don't know what to say. Guess we'll just keep sitting, praying that a giant walks by. I don't think it's gonna happen. This sucks. We need some luck. Come on. Come on. Just got set up in the blind. We haven't been in here 2 minutes. Looked out the window. We had a shooter buck with a doe. Stop. Stop. More bucks around, that's why. And I think Chris said he saw another buck. That's why he's stomping. But Chris called shooter, so that's a good sign.
Well, here we go. It's November the 7th, and Kate and I are heading down to Southern Ohio. We're going to hunt some public this week. The weather's a little bit too warm for our liking, but it's November. The deer are going to move, so I think it's just going to be a little bit better early in the mornings and in the evenings. But like I said, we're down here for 7 days. Hopefully Katie can get her first buck and tag along.
Well, here we go. It is day 2.
is October, it's November the 9th. We slipped in here. We're not sitting too far off the road. I want to sit right here and kind of scout a little bit, kind of observe. I know the doe bedding area is up above us, and so far it's paid off. It's only 8:30. We saw a pretty stud 10, a doe, another buck right, and when I was breaking daylight, I only saw his body, but he's a solid deer, and then just had another buck chase a doe along the doe bedding area. So just sitting in here, kind of observing. Gonna make a move after this morning's hunt, but it's been pretty good so far. Well, here we go. It's November the 10th. We finally got all set up. We're on the north side of the doe bedding area today. We saw a really nice buck yesterday. Saw a bunch of deer actually. So gonna try to get in on this side on it. We got buck bedding to the north, doe to the south, and we're in the middle. So fingers crossed. It's a little bit warm. We got rain coming in later, but it's a beautiful morning. It's November the 10th. We had a really wide 10-pointer that we got our trail camera pictures of up on the hill about 120 yards away from us with it locked down on a doe. Debating if I'll make a move up there for this evening, but we got rain coming tonight and finally it's gonna start cooling down. So we're gonna sit back here a little bit longer and then probably go check a couple trail cams, see what's going on.
Did you have the mic on this?
Yeah, I had the mic on this time.
I just want to make sure.
She would have to bring that up.
Did you say you did have it on? Okay.
I had to wait for the rain to stop before I could start filming. It was raining. Raining in the woods.
Well, we're gonna go do something a little bit different since the movement's been pretty slow. We're gonna get real aggressive. We're gonna take the rattling horns and we're gonna go just kind of get up on top of these ridges, go find a hollow and kind of sit, rattle, and wait a little bit, see what happens. If nothing, kind of get up, slow creep, and go move to the next one, rattle a little bit, call a little bit, see what happens. So that's something I've never really done before, but I know it's effective. And like I said, it's moving slow, so let's kind of force something to happen here.
Well, it's our last day down here in Ohio. Well, last morning, I gotta be out of here by 10 o'clock, so I got about 2 hours left. It's a cold, frosty morning. It's been one heck of a week down here. Started off with some super warm weather, but we were seeing shooters almost every morning. And it just kind of like a light switch, it just died. Like the weather finally got cool. Movement just hasn't been great since. Saw a shooter on Thursday morning. Nothing yesterday morning. Saw a buck bed with a doe last night. But I had a blast down here with Katie. It's always fun to hunt with her. She kind of brings out a different side of hunting that I'm not used to. Everyone's so serious and I'm so serious, but she just has fun with it. I'm sure you heard that. I really don't think that was a shooter anyways, but decent buck came down the bottom. I heard him grind him right up the hill. And I don't know if the wind switched or what, but he came right up. Blew me out. Oh, that hurts. Dang squirrels. Well, that's going to be a wrap on our rut trip down here on public land in Ohio. Had a blast on it. 8 days. It's always a good time hunting down here with Katie. She's a lot of fun to hunt with. She kind of brings back just having fun and laughter and just enjoying it, not being so serious. I ended up seeing 2 does and a buck this morning. Was able to grunt him up the hill, but of course he came up the wrong side of the hill and caught my wind as soon as he got to the top. Started blowing and took off. I haven't seen anything since that. He blew pretty good. One heck of a week down here. Our weather was not good at all, but we were on shooters. Saw 3 bucks that were probably 140-inch tents, if not better. Just couldn't close the distance on them. Had them all about 100 yards. Learned a lot this week. Put a lot of miles on the boots. Definitely haven't worked as hard in a long time. Had a blast, so we'll definitely be back down here to get this public land tag